Mock Draft Monday, and we got a new draft order, so you know what we got to do. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below, where we have that nice, beautiful football discourse. This is the draft order as of after Sunday Night Football. No trades today. Let's go ahead, get into this sucker. As the Chicago Bears are still first overall. Thank you, Carolina Panthers. And I'm going to do what I believe, what I think is right. I think it makes financially the most sense. I think logically it makes the most sense to trade, move on from Justin Fields, and select a quarterback with this pick and get a fresh quarterback on a rookie deal, a new start, a new beginning. Ryan Poles actually gets his guy. Remember, he kind of inherited Justin Fields. And build around that sucker. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take the cat with the hugest upside, the king of improv himself, Caleb Williams. He is now officially off of the board. New England Patriots. Well, second verse, same as the first. There we go. Butchered a little bit, but it is what it is. I'm going to go ahead and take Drake Maye. I think Bill Belichick. Yes, I think Bill's going to be back next year. I really do. And even if he isn't, they take a quarterback with this pick. The Mac Jones experiment has gone awry. It really, really has. You know, the New England's defense over the last 3 weeks has only allowed 26 points. They've lost all 3 of those games. Wild. Arizona Cardinals with the top 2 quarterbacks off the board. You don't even need to think quarterback. Just go ahead and take the best non-quarterback prospect in the class. Arguably, maybe the best prospect in the class. We're going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. for the Cardinals. Golly, Kyler, he's going to have so many weapons, he won't know what to do with them. Okay, we got the Washington Commanders, and I mean, you get your choice of whatever offensive tackle you want with this selection. Like Brock Bowers, okay, that's a sexy pick, but you get to take the top tackle off the board. We're going to go ahead, and it's close between, for me, Fashanu and Joe Alt. I kind of like toss and turn between the two. I think for the Commanders, I'm going to go with Olu here for now. But again, it's kind of 1A and 1B. Chicago Bears, we're back on the clock. This is their original pick. Remember, we took Caleb Williams. Now we got to think, what are we going to do here? Do we take a Brock Bowers? Do we take a Joe Alt? I think at this point, maybe you can take the first defensive prospect off the board. You want, or I mean, you could go with like a Malik Neighbors, a Keon Coleman, a Odunze, but I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna snag an edge rusher to pair up with Montez Sweat. He just had a big game this past weekend. I'm taking Jared Verse. I think he actually fits Matt Eberflus's system really, really well. And the cat had like 9 pressures, 3 sacks. He has really had a very strong like second half of the season. So he should be back into that edge one discussion if he wasn't. All right, we got the New York Jets. I'm between a couple of things. Like receiver would be nice. We could take the second tier receiver here. Again, the 3 names I mentioned earlier, all of those guys would be up for grabs. We could go Joe Alt, the offensive line. It's been banged up this year, but I do think they need to add more talent to it. Or we could do the fun thing, and I think I'm going to do the fun thing. I'm going to take Brock Bowers for the Jets. I'm going to get Aaron Rodgers his Robert Tonyan. Just way better. So we're going to do that. All right, the New York Football Giants, or the G-Men. I guess it's football Jets. I don't know. They're both from New York. It is what it is. What are we going to do here? I could go quarterback. I could be like, to hell with it. Go ahead, snag quarterback 3 in this class. The question, for me, it's between 2 guys. I have them actually, they're probably going to be very close to one another. This is a bit high for them, but again, quarterback value, like gets overvalued all the time. So this is actually right within their range if you consider that. We could go with Joe Alt. Go ahead and move Evan Neal into guard. We could go with a playmaker, but man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I think I would rather just get competition for that quarterback room. I really do. Like me personally, I would. I don't see a future for Brian Daboll if they have to continue forward with Daniel Jones. And I think that's probably where I'm going to go. I'm going to go ahead and get him some. I'm going to get some competition for the quarterback spot. Question is, the two guys on between is Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels. Daboll, I think he would like probably the more athletic option. Though it's like Bo Nix is a pretty darn good athlete in his own right, but I think I'm gonna lean with Jayden Daniels here. I'm gonna go with the hot name, the future Heisman winner. That'd be wild if they actually gave Bo Nix the Heisman. Then it's like, oh wow, okay. Listen, I know you love the NFL draft as much as I do, and you're gonna want a nice hefty watch list of players during this college football season. Well, go ahead, check out my draft guide. You can purchase it for only $30 by Venmoing or PayPaling me. Links in the description. It's a one-time payment and you get it for this whole draft cycle and forever and always. Technically, it's a Google spreadsheet. So send me your email when you send the payment. I'll get you hooked up. You will see my current prospect rankings and big board, my full evals. And guess what? It updates throughout the whole draft cycle. So it's a great purchase and it's a great way to support the channel. Joe Alt being available here for the Titans makes me not have to think much about this pick. Go ahead, grab tackle, call it a day. I mean, you could go a variety of different areas. You could go with top corner off the board. You could go with wide receiver help. I'm going with tackle help. The offensive line has been kind of rough this year. Joe Alt, great pick. Feels like a Mike Vrabel pick as well. New Orleans Saints, man. This is tough. This is a toughie for me. Because I can tell you what my heart says. My heart says, blow this sucker up. You've been pushing bad contracts down the road. It's all going to hit eventually. So say, we made a mistake at quarterback. Let's draft Bo Nix. That's where I'm at. That's where me personally, where I want to be at. Trying to think other options, and I'm gonna be honest, man. To me, the sexiest option is to go ahead and send it. I think I'm gonna send it, man. Look at that, 4 quarterbacks in the top 10, top 9 even. Golly. So yeah, quarterback A gets overdrafted. It is what it is. Yeah, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think I want quarterback 5 at this point at pick 10. We could go with a wide receiver option, or we can go with more edge help. This is a team that does need to get better at the pass, get better pass rushers. You got Mike Evans as a free agent. You could honestly also bring him back, and it's a deep wide receiver class, so maybe you just take a shot on edge class, because edge class does fall off a cliff during day 2. So I think I'm going to go with edge. So we got Dallas Turner, Chop Robinson, Yatu Latu, and I think I'm going to go with Liatu Latu. I think this would be the type of guy that they want. Yeah, I'll go with Liatu Latu, man. That guy's been wonderful this season. If not for the neck injury, the red flag there, and if everything checks out, I think Bucks will be fine with taking him. If not for that, he'd probably be consistently, like, without question, in this top 10 mix. The Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not going quarterback 5 here. I'm just not. So the question is, then where do I go? Where do I go? I mean, we could grab tackle. That's on the board. You could grab defense, like Jazon Newton. I kind of like mocking him here. If you're unfamiliar with like Dane Brugler from The Athletic, he's talks about how Jayden Newton's kind of a guy not a lot of NFL teams, or a good amount of NFL teams kind of see more as a second rounder because of his size. And to me, I'm just kind of like, nah, this guy gets after it. He's A-okay in my book. Or we could go with corner. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think corner is probably what I want to do. You get your pick of the top corner. I know, like, I mean, they just released Marcus Peters. I know a lot of people like Jacorian Bennett, but I mean, again, 4th rounder, and it's a volatile position, so why not just add more talent? Nate Hobbs. He's got the versatility to play inside or out, and they have some good like depth there. But I want to go out and get just like, I want to get really good talent. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab Nate Wiggins here. The Chargers. So right tackle's up for grabs. I honestly believe that, but I think I'd rather go with some defenders. We have some pass rushers. We could go corner. You could go Jayden Newton. I think Newton or Kool-Aid McKinstry are probably the two guys I'm thinking here for this pick. So we got Jayden. Help with that interior, or I mean, the cornerback room needs so much help. I mean, so much help. I think I probably go with that. So I think I'm gonna go with Kool-Aid. So we're gonna see corner go back to back. Wow, man, we really pushed wide receiver. We haven't even taken the next wide receiver yet off the board. Ooh, we really pushed that down, but I am gonna go ahead and take the next wide receiver here. This may surprise you. I'm gonna go instead of Keon Coleman, I'm gonna go with Rome Odunze. I'm gonna get that. I think he's really shown that he can be a more consistent 50-50 ball guy, a jump ball guy this season. I think he's a better athlete than Coleman. So I'm gonna go with the freak in terms of size, speed, and length. Buffalo Bills. I feel like the talent is just right there for me. Like Malik Neighbors being there, added him there with your like Stephon Diggs. That just sounds fun. That really does. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let's think about other I'm thinking of other options. You know what? I don't like it. I'm gonna go Malik Neighbors, man. That's just phenomenal value here at this point. Denver Broncos. I mean, this is a defense playing much better as of late. They're not the same defense. They got put through the ringer by the Miami Dolphins. Fins up, by the way. Fins up. So what are other areas that we can go now that they're winning? Do they retain a Garrett Bowles? But I mean, Garrett Bowles, I don't know, man. I think they're gonna have to do some contract shedding. We continue to bring in edge talent. That is totally a thing that we can do, and I think we might. And if we do, I think it would be Chop Robinson. I think I'd lean more with the guy with size. Maybe we just go with Jayden Newton, come in there and play in the interior. I mean, let's take a quick gander at the Broncos. Just real quick, you know, see what we're working with. Because I mean, I feel even Keon Coleman, I think, would be a very good option here. But I feel like I am leaning towards the defense. Looking at their guys that are gonna pressure. Like, I mean, Benito's been playing a lot. Got a decent workload from Zach Allen. I mean, that was a guy that they shelved out money for. I think I'm gonna go with Jayden. I'm going with Jayden. Okay, Seattle Seahawks. Geno, probably not the guy. I'm legitimately considering the next tier of quarterbacks here, which I'm gonna assume Shadur is returning next year. I'm gonna assume Quinn Ewers is returning next year. The guys that I'm really thinking about here are probably Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy. And I feel like with JJ McCarthy, could actually sit behind Geno. And Geno could still kind of like run the team. I think that's probably where I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's where I'm going. I'm gonna go with JJ. No, this is too high for a quarterback. I'd probably rather go Penix. I mean, okay, think of. See, this is tough. Do you take the developmental guy? For me, this just feels too high for JJ. I'm more willing to take Penix at this area, but I'm more of a late first or early to mid second on Penix. I think you might just say screw it. Let's see what's available later on. I think we do. I think we just say screw it. Let's see what quarterback might be available later on. The Seahawks still have their second round pick, right? Seahawks here. Just want to confirm that the Seahawks will be picking in the second round. Oh, no. No, they gave that to the Giants. Oh, muddies things up a bit, does it? If we don't go quarterback here, then we're not going quarterback at all. That's just the truth. So I think ideally you probably trade down and hope the quarterbacks here, but I feel like Seahawks, it just feels nice being able to take a swing on a quarterback. Penix is more pro ready, so if you do want to move on from Geno immediately, you can do that. I think we're going to do that there. When it comes to the Rams, I think I'm going to go with edge. You can make a case for like JC Latham here, or I'm assuming because Armarius Mims, he suffered an ankle injury in the SEC championship game very early in that game, by the way, so could be a candidate to return. So I'm thinking like JC Latham, Talanise Fuaga. Confident am I with those guys in this system? Like Fuaga, but you move Fuaga to left tackle then? I think I'm just going to take Dallas Turner. I think Dallas Turner is a really good fit for the Rams. All right, we're back on the clock with the Arizona Cardinals. We took Marvin Harrison Jr. I kind of just want to take whoever the best defensive prospect is available to me here, and it's kind of Chop Robinson. We could make a case about a couple of the other corners here. Cooper DeJean. We could talk about Taron Arnold. There's Kamari Lassiter, even like Denzel Burt kind of in there, TJ Tampa. So like I think I'm probably just gonna go with the pass rush. Get someone to play opposite of BJ Ojolari. I'm gonna go with the twitched out monster Chop Robinson, which now puts me here at Atlanta in not a great situation. I'm not taking JJ McCarthy. I'm not there yet with him. I feel like I want to see more, and we didn't see it in the Penn State game. You saw in the Ohio State game, you saw a couple of throws you really, really liked, but outside of that, it was just kind of like meh. He didn't have to do anything against Iowa. And I feel like probably a guy needs a year. But we're not taking him here. All the edge talent literally just fell off the board. to us at this point. So then what are we doing? Keon Coleman's still on the board too, man. That's wild. It's wild. We do a couple of things different in a mock draft and good players just end up falling. Okay, well, I'm not gonna get a wide receiver for Arthur Smith just to waste away. So you could go make like push for Braylon Trice, JT Tuimoloau. I think the value is probably at corner. I think that's probably where the better value is right now on the board. Find AJ Terrell, his running mate. Who is playing? Oh, yeah, Kuda's been like, he's been fine. And Alford's probably playing a lot in the slot. Yeah, that's our slot guy. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and take a shot on corner. And I'm actually going to go with... I love Cooper DeJean, but I think the better scheme fit is going with like freaky athlete like Terran Arnold, who is really just kind of like skyrocketing right now. This feels a little early for me when it comes to him, but I mean, I feel like scheme fit matters, right? So instead of like Cooper DeJean, I'd probably be looking at like Arnold, Lassiter. Those are the type of corners I'm looking at. Oh golly gee, we can literally do a lot of fun things here. We could go Keon Coleman. He is literally probably my highest prospect on the board right now. I think I'm gonna do that. I can't believe he fell this far. Again, yeah, I guess in this mock we just saw the receivers kind of like slide down the board. But yeah, no, I mean, he's just too talented to pass up on at this point. Minnesota Vikings. Oh, look, all the quarterbacks are off the board. I'm not taking JJ. Sorry. What do we do here? I did consider JJ, though, earlier. What do we do here for the Vikings? You would maybe want to get into that edge. The next tier of edge. I think that's the possibility. Yeah, I think that might be it. I think it's you jump on the next edge. I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna send it. I think it's real close between JT and Braylon Trice. Let me just check that I'm not forgetting anybody. I might need mentioned here. No, I think Ellis and Braswell and Princely are the tier after these two guys. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to snag Trice here. Golly, dude. Feels a little bit high, but that's fine. Uaga, man. JC, they're falling. That's wild, dude. This is why you experiment with a lot of mock drafts, right? You just kind of want to see how the board falls. You just want to see how the board falls. Keon Coleman would have been fun here, but I think it's okay. It's not necessary. Instead, where can we go for the Colts? Honestly, Cooper DeJean, very flexible corner here. I think we're gonna do that. All right, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're taking one of these tackles. It's really pick whoever you like more. JC Latham's actually been pretty darn solid as of late. I feel like Fuaga's probably a better scheme fit. This isn't Matt Canada's offense anymore. I don't know. It's really pick whoever you like. I'm gonna go with JC at this juncture. He's kind of a freak at his size. Houston Texans, another team that we can do a lot of different things. We can kind of do whatever the heart desires, so to speak. To be fair, that right tackle spot's kind of wide open. Like, they've been playing Howard at guard. They've been keeping George Fant out there. So I think technically it's kind of wide open, and Fuaga would be a really good fit for Bobby Slowick's offense. They're at right tackle. So send it. This is wide receiver. Kansas City Chiefs, we're grabbing another wide receiver. Mecca Buka is an option. I honestly think A.D. Mitchell is a better choice. We get into these next tier of wide receivers, and it's Mecca Buka, it's A.D. Mitchell, it's Xavier Leggett, it's, for me, Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin. That's kind of the next set of guys. For me, Worthy, I think, is better like midday 2. I get it, speed kills, but his ball skills are just pants sometimes. I think A.D. Mitchell's done enough, though, to separate him from guys like Brian Thomas and Troy Franklin. And Mecca Buka, I think I kind of like the fit better of a Mitchell. Did I mention Leggett? Yeah, Leggett's kind of a freak, but I love the route running of Mitchell, man. I'm going to go with him here. Jacksonville Jaguars, another team I could do a variety of different things with. I could go with the first interior player. Ooh, I could do that. That's an option. But seeing some of these other premier wide receivers come off the board and knowing how rich, like, I get it, it's a very good wide receiver class, but also day 2 is going to be littered with a lot of good center and guard talent. Even tackle talent. It's a really good offensive line class in general. So I think I'd rather take my pick of wide receiver here. All right, so I like Emeka Ibuka. I just have a hard time fitting him spots. I think I'm gonna go with Brian Thomas. I'm pretty high on Brian Thomas. I'm pretty darn high. I think at the end of the day, he's gonna end up being a first round pick. Full honesty, really do think that. All right, we got the Dallas Cowboys. They're on the clock. And could do receiver. I mean, the talent is there. Again, guys, Armarius Mims, I'm assuming he's going back to school. Graham Barton, a guy that potentially could play all 5 positions, but he's more likely a guard or a center. You could consider Troy Fashanu. I'm sure he's somewhere around here. He had a stellar game against Oregon. There's Jackson Powers Johnson, who had a stellar game against Washington. So it really depends on what specifically are what do they think their offensive line will look like next year? Remember, Tyler Biadasz is a free agent. They could always move Tyler Smith out at tackle. Tyron Smith, what's his future? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start getting this train rolling. I'm in love with Jackson Powers Johnson. He's gonna be in my top 40. I think if a team is like really needs a center here in the back end of the first round, they will be willing to. They would love to take a cat like this, and I think Jackson Powers Johnson is immediate plug and play starter day 1 for the Cowboys. Okay, we got the Detroit Lions. Let's take a look at the I think I'm taking Lassiter here. I just like the idea of taking corner. For the Lions, it makes the most sense. Lassiter is probably going to be, I think he is the highest guy on my board. Kalen Keene, I think he might return to school. Not an ideal season for him. You could also go with a kind of a freak in terms of length and quicks in TJ Tampa, but I'm going to go with Lassiter. He's played one heck of a season. Okay, we got the 49ers. and I'm never against them grabbing corner depth. But I think you probably want to go with the offensive line. Question is, who? You could make a great case for Troy Fashanu here, who could play tackle and guard. Graham Barton, who could play all those spots, but probably, again, profiles better as a center and a guard. Or you could do like a Jordan Morgan. I think he'd be my next guy up. I think I'm actually going to snag. I'm actually having a tough time with this. I kind of lean Graham Barton. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't mind him coming in, finding his way. Is he going to be the center? Is he going to be the guard? I simply think they need to get better. You make a great case. They need to get better at tackle. And I mean, he played tackle too, so it's like, where do they got this cat at? Oh, they probably list him at tackle. I'm gonna snag him here. Baltimore Ravens, another team that could do a variety of different things. You look at Emeka Buka, and it's like very enticing. You probably do want to get younger at the tackle spot. That could be an option. I also like maybe going with a corner there to kind of pair up with Marlon Humphrey, who's been a bit hurt. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So, I mean, if we're looking at tackle, who's the tackle that kind of like, well, again, would love Amari Smims. I'm gonna treat him like he's returned to school. I think that guy would be Kingsley Suamatea. Like, I like Jordan Morgan too, but I mean, he could be a fit there. I mean, they could go with Fashanu. No, I mean, they're kind of, oh no, their left guard position's kind of meh. And I mean, sometimes he could go out and play tackle. Yeah, because they got John Simpson playing guard right now. Ben Cleveland's never, like, just doesn't look like things will work out with him. And they drafted did they draft, or was he UDFA? I can't remember. The former tackle looks like he's more of a guard in the NFL. I haven't really seen him play much. So I mean, maybe getting that cat that can play tackle and guard, kind of vital. And no. Okay, I think I've talked myself back to my senses. I like Emeka Buka here. Oh man, actually, I'm gonna go with Xavier Leggett. I'm gonna get the big-bodied speed freak. OBJ is gonna be a free agent. You're like, okay, well, what about our vertical threat? Bam, you got your vertical threat right there. Man, that was a long way to kind of figure that sucker out. The Miami Dolphins, again, I firmly believe the Dolphins should go offensive line, and is Emeka Buka gonna? I think Emeka Buka is gonna fall out of the first round. That's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. Regardless, I'm going offensive line again, or Mary Smims. Gonna assume he's going back to school. Re-aggravated the ankle. Troy Fashanu is the guy I'm thinking about, a guy that can play tackle and guard. I think that's where I'm at, and that's what I'm gonna do. Does he play tackle at the next level? Maybe not, but if anything, like Robert Hunt's a free agent, so we will need that guard play. Philadelphia Eagles could kind of do whatever the heck they want. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, Eagles are kind of hard to draft for because it's like, okay, what is going to be a need in the future? What year is Devontae Smith? You gotta imagine they want to bring back Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith's in his, gotta be in his third year now, right? Yeah, he's in his 3rd season. So they got to figure out what they want to do with him. Maybe you just take the value of Mecca Buka, just in case you can't bring back Devontae Smith. And I imagine they do. Yeah, I mean, the value's there. Why not send it? I imagine they do bring back Devontae Smith. Like, don't take that the wrong way. Again, just in case Devontae Smith's like, hey, I want me a good contract, and you're like, oh, it's a little expensive. I don't know if we want to shelve that out. So, let's just go ahead. Let's maybe grab the potential next guy. And regardless, like, I know that they don't throw a lot to the slot anyway, but I know prior to the or in the offseason, they wanted to get better route runners or in the slot. Why they went after Zacchaeus. So again, I guess I'm drafting Emeka Buka as the potential replacement if things go astray with Devontae Smith. But that's the draft. Let me know what you think. A lot of different picks this time around. Again, I like to play with different scenarios of what may or may not happen in the draft. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Do the YouTube thing. And as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.